I said, yeah, start the stream. That's what I tried saying. Let me refresh this. Let me refresh this. Perfect. There we go. Perfect. There we go. All right. Okay. Something's going on over here. Not sure what the deal is, but it'll probably fix itself. Or not. I don't know. What do we got here? 6:55. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Of course, this is not working. Come on. Stop not working. You could start working. You could start working on it. Well, here we are, working or not working. The show must go on. So, it is the new time for us in this part of America. So, the daily candle close is now for me 7 p.m. 4 minutes to go. Closing out the daily and the weekly. Let's take a look at the small scale 1-5-15 charts real quick. Get an idea of how the day was going. Let's clean this guy up on the 1. Got selling coming in the last, 7 minutes or so. 5 minute chart, mostly sideways for the day. Not a whole lot going on. Sort of sticking within this smaller range here, 38.77 and 39.02, so 39.03 ballpark. Still under that 236, that 3925 zone. All right, so nothing super dramatic on that. What do we have here? 3 minutes. Let me double check this. See if we can get it working. It would be nice. Not mandatory, but it sure would be nice. And we're not seeing much here. We're not seeing much. But that's okay. It's all right. No big deal. Again, we got a little issue here with some of these charts and a little bit of lag, so don't worry about that. Try not to focus on that too much because there's other things to focus on, right? Such as the selling coming in the last two 15-minute candles. We are 1:59. That's a 2-minute warning to the weekly candle close. Let's take a look at the weekly. Let's talk about that for a minute. Well, that thing loads up. Yes, I would like this to work, please. Thank you. All right, so I got one thing working. 1 out of 2 is not bad. What we got over here? What is this? Okay. All right. That's still not working. All right. All right. It's kind of, there we go. Okay. All right. Marcus, good evening. Good evening, Chingas and friends. Ricky Thompson, good afternoon. Yes. Good morning, good evening, good night. All depends on where you are in the world. Crypto is a global thing, so people are everywhere, and that's really cool. All right, now, we talk about this all the time. You zoom in on the tight time frames. You're playing around with the 15 and the hour and the 4 hour. You sort of lose sight of what's actually happening here. Look at a weekly, right? From the D target, it's gone nothing but up, nothing but up. It doesn't feel like it, right? But that's what it's doing. That's fantastic. If you are a weekly swing trader, you would not be upset. Okay, we are 27 seconds away from closing out this day, March 10th in America, March 11th for snow, wherever she may be. All right, Wallbanger, good evening. What's happening, Wallbanger? All right, we are at 5. I'm not going to count it down. Sorry. 1. Bang. There we go. All right. Freshly painted. Don't touch the candle. It's still wet. Let's go scope out the weekly right here. This is our final verdict, right? This is what we have. We opened at 37.85.50. We hit a high of 39.43. We hit a low of 36.69. All right, we closed at 38.97.50. So just $2.50 shy of closing at 3,900. That would have been nice. Not mandatory, but it would have been great. If we take a look at the previous candle high, was at 38.95, and we closed at 38.97.50. So $2.50 above last week's high, and $2.50 short of hitting 3,900. So be that as it may, the weekly candle actually looks pretty good. We're looking from going back to January 28th, the week of. We had a nice bullish candle, smashed through. I'm not going to get into the argument of bullish engulfing, not engulfing, yada, yada, yada. Let's just move on. Next candle was down slightly with a good push down below. Gave us a new trend line, but the bulls were able to stop the bleeding in its tracks. Next candle came up huge. Now, this is a shooting star type candle. Where this type of candle would represent, you would have further downside, right? If you're going just by trend, just by that 4-week trend. That did not happen. Next week came and we got a spinning top, total indecision. Nobody really won that week, although it's still a bullish candle, up $52. Regardless, it is a candle of indecision. And this week that we just closed out, 2.96% was the total, up $112. So on the grand scheme of things, not much, but it does set a tone for 3 bullish candles in a row. We have the idea that we are at least now in a current trend. We are making higher highs and we are making higher lows. So on the weekly chart, it looks pretty good. The daily chart will tell a different story, so we'll scope that out right now. So on the daily chart, again, going back to that D move down here, January 28th, we swung down up a little and then down, tested down that low once more again, came back up for a good push. After that, we pulled back a little bit, swung back up for another new high. At that point, we traded up instead of doing a pullback. We ended up making a little bit more gains sideways to a nice move up. So that's our next high. We come down, we paint a higher low. That higher low retest previous structure. Sideways for like about a week. A little mini dump down, right? Testing our new trend. Came back up for the good push. And then sideways, slightly bullish for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 days or so. And the candle that we just painted today tells us a sad story of possibly coming down a little bit. All right, so here we go. 39.16 was the open. 39.16 was the high. Right, so not able to trade any higher than the open. That's not good. 38.60 was the low. 38.97 was the close. So you did bring it back a whole bunch from where it was. Smashed all the way through the range. Body's sitting over right now top of range for support, which is the 618, 38.97. We can see currently we have buying coming in, not much, 50 cents. All right. So overall, this is a hanging man. That'll usually tell you it's the end of an uptrend and expect some kind of reversal. May or may not happen. We have buying now, but the day is young and we got plenty of time to go. 23 hours, 55 minutes, and 29 seconds to be exact. All right, so I like to swing back to the 1-5-15 chart because I like to see if any volatility came with that close. Doesn't really look like it. We like to usually check back and see maybe like the last, 4 to 8 15-minute candles, see if there was any sort of crazy moves. We had a lot of buying come in, a little pullback, and, this bigger candle here, $11 candle. Not bad. Not bad. Not much since close. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this one so that we can remove some of the lag. This chart here, we're looking at weeklies on Bitcoin that we just talked about. To the right, engine. We've been talking about that all week. Bottom left is Raven. Raven, we didn't talk too much this week, but it was on our minds, but mostly because most of the week it was just pulling back. All right. And Theta. Theta made some good moves. I'm going to replace Theta with KNC because KNC was killing it this week. That did a lot of people a lot of favors. So this is actually it's a really good week right here. 69.44%. That's fantastic. The actual trade, I think we were either just over or just under 100. 149 was the total. I'm trying to think where we got out in this ballpark here. Could have been the top of this guy. And that would have been, I guess, like 106. So, overall, really good week. You know, a lot of alts saw a lot of love this week, which is nice. I think people were getting a little sick and tired of that range. But it's part of trading, you know. So, we take them when we can. And when there's nothing like that, we change our strategy and we start doing, you know, some range trading or something. All right, so let's pull up. Let me scope the chat real quick, see what's going, see what you guys are doing, and then we'll take a look at what kind of movers we had today and over the week. All right, so what do we got? Oh man, we got all sorts of people here. Bad Andy, what's up? Deep Pixels, good morning from Australia. It's fantastic. Engine, all right. So this morning, Theta right now. Nice. Engine a little bit ago. Very good. Snow, good morning. Will Wabi pump again? LRC gonna pop. ONT getting ready. Oh boy. Has some bags from last Theta. Sold the pop. Really good. I'm watching ONT closely. I have a lot of bags. They're all popping. Saint, what's up? Nice profits today. Excellent. When Stellar reaches my target around 2,800, I will buy more WAN and add to the bag. I think it has more upside. Okay, excellent. Hope all the regulars are using this to trade. It works. Let's see. Good shit. Money to be made. Scarneck, what's going on? Good evening. Can I take a look at VET? Sure. It's slowly rising, but having problems breaking through 125. Sold half my bag of VET last night at 124. Got in at 109. Hope it breaks. WAN had a crazy week, especially with volume. Good website about all coins that can give you the idea of all coins popping. Coin Market Cow. Sure, I use that as well. Found out why Theta pop. Wonder if we're getting Bloody Monday. Whew. All right, that was a lot to catch up on. So I'll be honest, the only one I remember was VET and WAN. So let's take a look at VET. BTC. Let's take a look. VeChain. What happened to Thor? All right. Well, this is fine. We haven't broke range, so there's nothing for me here. I will continue to monitor this, but until we break range, then I'm not touching this. Right. That's how I do it. I will surely take a look and chart it, but we have kind of already charted this. There's not a lot happening here. It's very boring. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You can play that range until it breaks if you want. What you do is you sell the top of the range and you buy the bottom of the range. Front run everything to give yourself a little bit of room here. Just like these hit, these did not. So if you front run like you know, maybe 5 to 10% of this range and front run your sell 5 to 10 exactly, so then you play just this inner range body, this whole zone in here, not including the outer edges. And that is range trading in a nutshell. Very easy. You know, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. You just have to be cautious of when it does break. You should get a retest. So if it breaks to the south and you get a retest, that is the opportunity to sell it and not be in that trade any longer, for it to go further south. On the upside, you look for the breakthrough, the retest, buy the retest, and then you're looking for, gains. All right, so that's VET. I think we looked at WAN last night. Was it last night? I don't remember. All right, so WAN's looking good. It's finally in my zone here. I guess it does look like we got hit. I'm not really sure when this wick happened. I don't remember if that wick was already there when we put our box there. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm sure someone in chat would remember. But this is that double range we were talking about. You got an upper range and you got a lower range. This broke through both ranges. It smacked its head on our historical resistance right here, which is good. It ended up finding support back on the top body over here of this candle right here, right? Previous structure highs got retested, and on the daily looks pretty good. So if this move isn't over, then let's see, we would have to do that, and we'd have to adjust our targets again. 5 and a 618 is still fine by me. But I'm trying to see when did that buying happen, because we were here. Okay, so we charted this on this candle. All right, and this was our buy-in off of this high. That's good. All right, so yeah, we would have gotten filled on that. Looks like it got a good move up and then ended up dying again. So why don't we take a look at just that move? So not moving like the others, it's pretty like giving you a good bit in a day and then pulling back, giving you a good bit and then pulling back. Let's see, if we were going to do anything with this currently, I don't know. I'd feel better about this right here. And then that's too much, so maybe I would do this. All right, from the 5 to the 618, and I do that for 2 reasons. One, I'm looking at top of range, right? Historical support resistance. And 2, coming back and maybe testing the body. I know we already retested the top of the wick, but since we are pulling back, I would be okay if we hit the top of that body in the range one more time. This was a good test down here, so this should have kept going up, but this resistance line, I guess, was too much for it to handle, so it did smack it down, smacked it all the way down to 236. I'd be surprised. There's a lot of buying right now, so I'd be a little surprised if the buy. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the buying stopped, the selling came in quickly. You might see like a wick come down here, something, pick up a few orders, and then attempt to break that pink line again. Let's take a look at the 1 hour and just see what's actually happening here. So we had the good push up. We had the pullback zone here. We had a couple strong candles, 1, 2, 3 soldiers up. Then we got a spinning top and another spinning top, and then we started selling. So these 2 sell bars here, everything you sold, you gave right back. You made 1 attempt up, you pushed, you failed, and now you're painting a shooting star. So yeah, I would not be surprised if we came down, touch these levels one more time, and make another attempt, another run back at that pink one over there. Somebody mentioned ONT. Let's take a look at ONT. All right, so ONT, what are we looking at? That's the hourly chart here. Let's put the 4 up real quick. All right, so the big push failed high. All right, so here's what we got. Broke out of range. Pretty sloppy retest. Basically a fail. Came up, broke again. Proper retest. 1, 2, 3 days. Big bullish move up. Came back down. Slightly hit the 5. Found some 382 before it dropped down to the actual 618, which was good. This would have been target area. Popped right back up. Smash hit the 236. And then it looks like we failed from there. So let me reposition this a little bit.
All right, so failing at the 382. 236, we got horizontal support resistance zones. This isn't bad. This isn't bad. Volume coming down, price coming down, 3 red, that's good. Expect the next one to be a white one up. Is the 382 gonna hold? Let's see here. Come down. I mean, this is all you needed. That was the move, right? So if you got that move in the bag, right, the coin don't need no more, right? So it's okay. Finding support here would make sense on the 382. Now you got to get past this level. You got to get past that horizontal support resistance, and right now it's struggling to do that. Look at the volume increase on these bigger candles, and you don't have your under average volume for buying just on this candle. So a weaker candle for sure. Let's see if we could do something like this. All right. All right, so we can expect this to act as a little bit of resistance as well. That'll give confluence on the downside. So let me make this a little bit bigger, make it a little easier to read. Something like that. So yeah, if you're long right now, you have a couple things you need to look at. One, this horizontal support resistance sitting around 25.14. And two, once you break that, this new trend line to see if it holds any weight. If we hit it today on this candle, you're looking at 26.23 is going to be the issue. You swing back down, right, and you fail and you make a lower low below that 618, that could be trouble. Your next level that you might be hitting would be previous structure highs, which would be in tune with horizontal support resistance sitting around 1959. All right, at which point, some point you have to make a decision. Do you stay in the trade or do you call it a loss and move on to the next one? All right. So what do we got? Okay. Oh, well, I missed some stuff. I missed a whole bunch. All right. I'm not sure I could go back and read all that, but let's see what we got here. No, we're good. WAN, largest volume in 3 days. Volume since Hope 100% up soon. Okay, Theta is moving as of now. All right. Theta looks good, but already up a lot. Good morning. Just waiting for it to take a break. Well played. XLM BTC had its move yesterday. I think my 28 target is likely. Let's take a look. Are you guys using the PAS looking for a more pink and red possible catch a breakout before it happens, or looking for greens and playing pullbacks? Very nice. XLM BTC. Let's take a look. Good old Stellar. XLM BTC. All right. Good Stellar. This is excellent. It's exactly what we want to see. All right. We talked about longing. I remember this. Okay. Yeah. We talked about longing resistance and how it's a terrible idea, but I think, well, we could have gotten 7% or something. Yeah, 7%. All right, so what did we say? We said it's not a good idea to long resistance, but you could get the 7% and sell, right? It's exactly what we said. Get the 7% and sell. There's your 7%, and there's your sell right there. So if you bought at the breakout, right, this was the double break. So if you bought this breakout at 24.31, you should have sold at 25.98. You should have gotten out of there. All right, and now we can do some stuff here. So with our move, right, this is our big move. Let's take a look at the fib. Let's see what we got, and let's see what kind of pullback we might be expecting here. All right, so the last time we had a large move, this guy right here, we come back down here and we take a look. What did you do? What did you do last time? Right, because these are the same people moving it last time are the same people moving it this time. So we came up, we made a good move, smash down to the 709, almost to 786. Right? This is actually this move here, which would have been the 886. Let's take a look at this move right here. Smash down. Where'd you go? Get over here. Where did you go? It's the 709 again, almost the 886. Right? Now you had, let's see, you had this move here. And where was the low on this one? This guy? Oof. That's even worse. All right, all the way down. So, if that's the case, 886 is the play. 886 is back in range. What do we have on our side? Top of range, previous structure highs. All right, so here's what I'm looking at. Eerie, right? When no one talks? Eerie. Alright, this is a little bit more aggressive than usual. And typically I want to retest the range a little bit higher. However, here's what I'll do. Last time we had a big move, you know, and I'll even adjust this. I'll be a nice guy. Right? I'm gonna do that. I'll adjust it to this. Then it won't be as dramatic. All right, so then I could do, you know, top of range down to previous support. It's also the bottom of this particular trend, which is not the greatest trend line here, to be totally honest with you. It's kind of just a marker. This would tell me, this would give me the idea that we would be bringing the selling all the way down, sort of retesting this structure area, right? And getting ourselves close to the 886, 709. So 709, 786, 886 area, I'd be okay with. We might see hesitation or a good bounce right in this ballpark, and so I would hate to see orders not get filled, especially if that's where it finds its all the support it needs. So kind of like a secondary marker here. I might put a light order in here, right? You'd have confluence coming down. You would have to smash through this angled trend line here, and then get back into this little mini channel that you just smashed through in order to pick this up. But if you pick this up, it taps the 618 and never comes any further. At least you're in the trade for further upside if you do get reversal. If you don't get reversal, then you're picking up a second order down here somewhere between 709, 886, 886 ballpark. And at that point, if you don't get out of the trade, I mean, your stop on this is going to be pretty far. Unfortunately, I mean, your stop is basically lower lows. Your stop's like down here. So you'd have to use very smart risk management, and instead of putting, you know, like a third of your capital in, or a quarter of your capital, or 10% of your capital, you might only put like 5% of your capital. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe like 10% of your capital, because if you got to lose, if you're going to be willing to lose this much, and it'll be more than that because your buy targets are even higher, you know, 8% on the trade, then you have to risk way less. But I would see this. I'm totally cool with this. I'm cool with this play right here. Something in this ballpark. I don't think that'll happen in a day. I mean, that thing might take a week to get down here. All right, that's my deal. I'll do that. Previous structure, and you got a double range up here, right? You got a whole nother accumulation zone. That's what I got. All right, so what do you got? Ricky Dobson right now playing pullbacks. Bags popping, so I'm watching the scanner changes and I'm learning how to read it. Very good. So I can get in before the coins pop. Ah, very nice, very nice. Might get back in the engine on the pullback. How about K and C? So I think we. Oh no, we just looked at the weekly. All right, let's take a look. K and C, K and C. Here we go. Okay, so. I guess yeah. No, this is our retarget, right? We already took K and C up, right? We took K and C for 100, which was fantastic. It was a great play. It all seemed to work out very nicely. We are, however, still in or have just broken this much larger channel, right? That we've been in and out of for quite some time. So for me, I feel that a proper retest is expected, and that is why we have our buy target set up at the 709 in between the 618 and the 786, which would also coincide with a proper retest of the channel that we broke out of. Okay? Some people said I was crazy when I said, yeah, you know, it's all the way up here, 10,447. I said, you know, I don't know. This is my buy. I'm like, it's just going to keep going. It's going. I'm telling you, you're crazy. It's just going to do this. I'm like, all right, well, if it does, then I find something else to trade. You know, that's fine. I ain't got no problem with that. But this is still what I'm thinking. Nothing has changed my mind yet, and in fact, a 15.2% loss coupled with another 3% so far on the day makes me feel that this is okay. Now, this might be a little dramatic because we do have horizontal support resistance, and that aqua line sitting at 65.29. So, and confluence with the 618. So you could do that. Scale in entries or ladder them in, however you want to call it, would be something similar to this. So 65.98 ballpark zone, 65.29 previous horizontal support resistance, and I don't know that we'll hit it today, but if we do, and if we did, you're looking at like 60, 31, 60, 80 for a proper retest of this channel. All right, so that's what we got for KNC. Nice. All right, Alex, what's happening? Oh, yes, engine. Right. Famous last words is different this time. That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that a few times. Engine, yeah. Let's take a look at engine. Engine, VTC. All right, hey, look at that. Fantastic. All right, so we said we hit the 423 buy target, right? Push down further, and this is our buy box right here, 2618. 4703. We gave ourselves a little front run. We actually hit the target yesterday, it looks like. Yeah. So we hit our target. That's our buy target. 2618 is our support. So we're cool. We're looking for further upside on this. We do need to break previous high, previous daily high, this guy right here that brought us up this way in the first part. So I think 57.90 is really no big deal. I think we'll be able to get past that. And then breaking the actual high, breaking the 423 could certainly be some type of a challenge. And are we in price discovery? Yeah, absolutely. So price discovery gets really interesting because you don't necessarily have targets. Obviously, whatever trend this was is completely gone, so we're not worried about that. We do have like we got this. We got an 8263 target, which would be 131%. Not impossible This candle alone was 106%. This candle down here was 115%. So 115, 106, and then what did we say? 130? Well, for the sake of, or 129.76. We'll call it 130. So for the sake of argument, 130. Yeah, for sure. Look, we already know the coin can do it, right? We know that it has that type of characteristic to it where it can do 100 plus in a 1 day period. So I wouldn't be mad at it. Okay. Well, that could be better. This could be better. Okay? And I don't like this. All right? Don't like that at all. Don't like that at all. Now, a proper swing failure, this would have had to make its way and dip under the 70, come back up, and paint a lower high. And then it didn't. It didn't dip into 70. It didn't dip under. It never got below 71. So it's not a full swing failure. But I would be cautious of this right here, and I will show you. Be cautious of this. You see RSI work its way down here, down to 72. Watch out. We break that, and I'm just talking on this next run. We break that, and we got some things to talk about. It may not be in your best interest. Well, it would be in your best interest at that point. You might want to sell. All right. But yeah, okay. So anyway, back to engine. Yeah, I still like that target. It's fine. I did put a Hail Mary 618 buy zone over here. Not 100% sure why I did that. Yeah, okay. Previous. So just above previous structure highs, sitting on the 1618 with a cushion to blow. So this is a shallow retrace, right? And this is the mega retrace. That's like the ultimate retrace. And that's okay. Again, let me take something like this. Let me just get the bottom of the move. Let's see what we're looking at. So if the move completes, the way we have it now, you're looking at a 382 shallow pullback. If we got all the way down to the 618, the 1618, I'm sorry, we'd be at a 709 pullback. 618 gets you 39.73. So, you know what, let me do that might be a little hard to see, but we're gonna do that. All right. What do we got here? Yeah. Of course. Put that back on. Put that back on. And put that back on. Okay. So, did everybody get that? Looking for a few different things here, so things can get a little confusing. But yeah, that's essentially what we are looking at. All right. We didn't quite hit the did we hit it? Let's just double check that. No, I didn't quite hit the 423. So that's too bad. I think we said yesterday like 5 sats or something like that. But again, you just front run a little bit and you're in a good spot. All right, so that is engine. BTC. Wabi, next target 7868. Alex, you're very welcome. Bad Andy, you were looking at the 4-hour chart when you put that 1618 area last night. Oh, I was looking at the 4 for engine. Let's see. 4-hour chart for this guy, right? Okay, yeah. All right, thank you. That makes sense. Yeah, so previous candle structure high. I do trade those. I do like those. It would be a shame to trade lower than this candle right here. 40.59 would not be great. It's certainly acceptable for the move, but it's not a good look. It's not a good look. All right, we already had the little mini pullback here. We had this pullback. Almost painted this horrible news sideways. No good. Came back down, hit it, lost it, coming back. So, thank you though for reminding me, because you will notice my memory is it could use some polishing. All right, so let's see, 1628. Got Wabi at 7250, followed by 8100. 7868. Wabi next target. Let's see. Let's see. Did we pull up Wabi yet? I don't think so. All right. 1 second. Oof. Okay. What are we looking at? We are looking at this move here. That was our high. This is our buy zone on the pullback. We pushed back up here. So we made a new move. We made a new low. Let's do that. And let's see what we're looking at here. So we are looking, oh, well that was, I did that all wrong. Not good. Not good. Let's do that. That's where it was. So let me get a new one over here. And let's just do it over here real quick. Low. High. All right. So pullback zone. Where are we at right now? We're at the 618 from this pullback. That's good. It's a good buy zone. 618's nice. I would have been okay with this. Let me get this thing out of here. All right, so if we did push up on the 618 and you're looking for the next target, we do have a few things of concern here. We have this flipped over support resistance trend line that we have to deal with, right? For one. For two, we have a 1618 target right there. All right, so if I were taking this trade right now and I bought the 618 right here at 56.27, this is my next move. %, 70.55. What'd you say? 78.68. 78.68. 78.68. 7868. Wallbanger, what did you? 7250 sounds a bit more realistic. What did you set to like where did you come up with this? From this previous structure high? What'd you top out at? Right, the high over here was 78.91. If you were doing body highs, you'd be 65.83. Historical support resistance down here on the low, we're in 75.11. Yeah, I mean there's a lot happening right here, right in this zone where you got to contest. You got to contend with, first off, this trend line for starters, which we didn't quite hit, and that could just be, this might not be lined up perfectly. You know, I don't want to move it right now to make it work, but we could do that another day. But yeah, I'm 70.55 for me. That would be my, this would be my buy. We basically are on my buy right now. 56.27 would be the buy zone. And then, yeah, I'd be looking to clear, you know, top side first, 6575. We got to get out of there. Then we got to smash through this trend. I would hope we'd smash through. We hit our head on the 618. We come back, we flip trend, and then further upside from there would get me to 8,300. But yeah, I don't know where you got. I'm just interested to see what the TA was. That's all. But yeah, my targets are my targets are much lower. I mean, 8,300. I'm cool with that, but not without hitting some resistance first. Let's see. Saint, was that a 8638 fib? No. It's an 8236. It's an 8236. What is it for? Is it a good target? Yeah. I went back to a resistance from way back. Okay, cool. Yeah, historical support resistance I love those. I love them. They're not all important and they're not all valid, but you can see the obvious ones, right? Obvious, right? Massive price comes down. This is an obvious level right here. It's not on our chart, but I would probably push it up to here anyway, which would be like 85.97 because you got confluence and you got confluence. Right, and then you had confluence. So I wouldn't just do it just because it's the low. I would look in that zone and I would do this because that line to me makes a lot more sense. So if I did this right here, come on, that to me I'm cool with, right? Because I got a hit, false breakout, and I got hits on a pullback, on a nice pullback from its first big candle. 57% candle, came down, touchdown, right? Right on that level. So I like that level. That level is cool for me. 8,700, nice even round number. Yeah, I'm cool with that. That's awesome. So let me see. Let's see this pullback right here. All right, so on that pullback to that high, let me put my target template up. What happened? Oh, yeah, because I'm crazy. So let's do that. Let's do that. And let's do that. Okay, so who asked me if the 823 is a good target? Based off of that first move. Come on, man. Come on, dude. How about that? How about that? Yeah, that's a good target, man. It's a good target. Went back to resistance from way back. Cool. I learned a lot about fibs from you. Awesome. Feel more comfortable with the targets and entry, but still a lot to learn. Yeah, dude. Look, man, you can learn this stuff for the next 20 years, but learn what works for you and apply it, and then, keep learning in the background. Always keep learning, for sure. Been doing this full time for almost 2 years. Saint, that's awesome. That is awesome. A wick from July 2018. Don't know if it's considered resistance or not. I'm still a noob. Yeah, no worries. Dude, it's cool. July 2018. July, March? June? Jeez, where the hell is July? June? July. Okay, so a wick from July. A wick from July. Here? This guy? July 5th? Okay, so there's two reasons why this wick is good, right? Well, let's take it one step further. Three reasons why this wick is good. All right. One, you came down, right? You had a nice top. And then you pushed up, you dropped down, you had a retrace, pushed down, had a retrace. Your first attempt to break up out of this accumulation zone, right? Smash back down on a support, failed, and then came back lower. This was your swing high before your range. But like I said, now this is nice because you got this, and then you have this. So you got confluence within it. The only thing for me was when I saw this level, right? And I saw that this level made more sense, okay? Then I went with this level. Meaning that I didn't ignore this level here, but it was less relevant, if that makes sense. It holds less weight. It's less important. And especially if this is like a false breakout. So if it's a false breakout, you don't give too much weight to this being, you know, the ultimate support candle. It was more like your swing low candle ended up being the support candle. And that's the one that pushed it up to the next level for rejection. If that makes sense. Like, let's put it this way. More often than not, the more touches you have, the more relevant or the more weight that either that trend line or that pattern or that horizontal support resistance is going to hold. Okay? So that's how I would explain it, I think. Hopefully that makes sense. Now we don't want this. Right? Looking back, I'm like, you know, this isn't a very good test of range right here. Let's be real. So we have to see how that plays out. There is the chance. It's always that chance. We swing back down and we retest this range right here, which would be okay, because then we'd end up retesting this, breakout of the symmetrical triangle. Keep that in mind, right? That is a thing. So even with my buy at 618, I might manage my risk to the point where I'll allow a retest, and I'll put another buy down here. You know what I mean? It's totally possible. So first off, my 618 target we already hit, right? So we're you know, it was too late, basically. That's okay. If I did like 618 to 786 zone, that's fine. Right? You would just buy it now or a couple sats away from where it is right now. If things get crazy, I'm doing this. Okay? And I do that because, right, what do we always talk about, right? Retest the range after a breakout. Bang. That would be a nice retest of range after breakout with confluence of downtrend line, and it's also the upper trend line from our symmetrical triangle, right? This big guy right here. Now, I believe we did zoom in on either the 1 or the 4, and we saw a pretty good retest, so we weren't overly upset about this. That's our retest right there. So here's the retest of range. Right, so we already got it. We didn't get it on the daily, but we got it on the hour. So we smashed up through it, smacked our head on our very first horizontal support resistance, came down, found support right on range, and pushed back up. All right, and that push, let's see. No, that push failed. The next push, this swing low right here, that was the push that got us or started us our trend. Or trend towards new highs. All right, that's the big zone, the big pullback, and then our next top. All right, so that's that. I don't remember what we're on anymore. Wabi, yes, Wabi. Okay, my bad. All right, very good. What do we got? Still new? Yup. Where did your upper trend line on Wabi come from? Just these wicks that popped out of range. I was more concerned with range, which is this orange box. So this trend here, right, just came from range trading. Now it looks like it just smacks right through over here, so we would have to go on probably the hourly chart, or in fact probably the 4-hour chart, to see what it actually hit. So this guy right here, right? So you got this, and you got this. Okay. Now, granted, it's not pretty. I'm not saying it is. It's far from pretty. Let me check the hourly in this zone though, because typically we wouldn't smash through it unless saw something that made more sense, or at least that had more confluence. But oh, not on the hourly. So yeah. So chances are, I'll tell you what it probably was originally. Probably had it up here and didn't have the correct confluence with the trading that was happening down here. So just adjusted it down so it made more sense. And I'm cool with that. Trend lines can be moved, man. It's not like you put it on and it's there for life. You know, trend line is supposed to give you a good visual indication of what is happening or what may happen based off of probabilities of historical trading. So for me, even though it doesn't really make sense to smash through it, it makes more sense right here. All right. These levels were tested 3 times and all 3 were good, right? And that's right before the breakout of the symmetrical triangle. So I'm cool with all that. I'm cool with moving it around a little bit. And I got no problem with that. Let's see. So the lower line from your box, which is now upper resistance. So the lower line from my box, this guy, is now upper resistance. No. So the range is range. The lower line from range, which is this right here. That's just bottom of range. That's all that is. Upper on range is just the upper range. That's fine. Are you talking about this box? That's probably the box. Okay, that's probably the box you're talking about. Yeah. So this is just to give me a zone of buying opportunity if we are to come down. Right? Sometimes we do perfectly just smack it on a retest. Other times, you know, it's a little bit of a push, especially if you're far away. So put it this way: if you're if you're leading the charge, right, and you're throwing the first $10 in, and nobody's moving, right? So you say, "Oh, I'll throw $100 in," and nobody's moving. So you say, "Fine, I'll throw $20,000 in," and now 100 people are right behind you, and they're moving. And they're throwing in their $10. And then behind them, you got another 100 people, and they're throwing in their $10. By the time you stop, by the time that 20K guy stops, right, you got all these other people behind you that they got to stop. So they start peeling back and peeling back and peeling back and peeling back. So you may not get a perfect slap. You may have a little bit of overrun, right? And it'll look like a wick. It's like, whoop. And as it comes down, everybody like me that's over here, putting in that Hail Mary order, is like, all right, I'll buy, and then you get a nice wake up. All right, so if that's what you're talking about, this is not in confluence with any other horizontal support resistance. This is in confluence with range, top of range, right, and breakout of the symmetrical triangle, which is this guy right here. Yeah, I understand that is probably a little hard to see, so let me just do that. Let me do that, and let me do that. All right. So in other words, with this pattern, and although it's a very ugly one, but with this, I would like to see a retest. I'd like to just see a retest from the range, first off, if nothing else. And if none of that, then just a retest of previous structure highs, which would be right here, which we already tested and broke through and is now resistance. Okay? So you could do something like this to give an indication of where we might have more trouble coming back up from our current zone. Okay? So something like that. We could have a little hesitation right here if we don't bounce down a little further. All right, that is what I got for Wabi. Let's take a look at one more chart, and then that'll be a wrap for me. Let's see. Wall banger. How do you get above 1 on the fib and the negative? How do you get above 1? Oh, like a 1618, 2618? That's on the default. I'll show you in 1 second. Draw from the bottom wick of 814 through your box. That is your upper resistance in the 7,000 area. Draw a line from 814 to bottom of wick on 1012. 814, 814, 814, 814, 8, 14. August 14th. August 14th. Okay, so here to what? To 1012. All right, so let's get our little line over here. 814 stink to 1012. October 12th. Probably this guy, I would imagine. Yeah. To October 12th. Yeah, that's fine. You could do that. Now here's the difference. All right? Here's the difference. Look at, I'm going to put that line that we just drew, and I'll make it something easy to see. Let's make it pink. All right? So take a look at that line. Okay? Take a look at that. It's over here. Really nice. All right? And then to infinity and beyond. And then take a look at the line I have on here. Right? That's the difference. So the difference is mine is visual and yours is technical. So you took a low and you took a low. What you didn't do was take the next low. So if you're going to be technical, you would put it right here. Right? You take your lowest low and then you take your next low. So that should be your higher low. And then if you did that, you would have smashed through these candles. You would have had nice confluence here. Not much happening here. Right? But good confluence here. Not much happening here. And really good confluence right here. Okay? So if you're going to do that, if you're going to do this, I'd rather you do that. Okay? And then I got mine on here because mine is more of just a visual guideline from the meat and potatoes of what this line represents. A flip. Okay? This is a good flip from support to resistance. And that's why this line is, neither line is better. But that's why I have this line on my chart. Because I like the flip from support to resistance. It gives more weight to the trend. Where this one's even good too. You know, it's got a little breakout here, which isn't wonderful. But when it does come down, it does find support. It hesitates, which is nice. Right? And then it flips it again. This isn't very pretty. That could look a lot better for actual resistance. That candle looks good. Right? And then all of this is nice. And then over here, smash through, but rejected. Swing back up. But look how it's playing out right now, right? The pink line. That's playing out, like, real good. You know, as far as daily close, right on it for the daily. On the next day, pushed up, found rejection right on it. And ended up pushing down even lower for a 7% loss. So, yeah. I'm cool with it. You can do trend lines a lot of different ways. Some of them are right, technically, and some of them are wrong. But the ones that work, that I've noticed, are the obvious ones. The ones that are, you know, you could see like this. Now draw your trend. You know what I'm saying? You should visually be able to just see the trend. And I see this trend. That's what I see. I see that trend as one trend, and I see this trend as another trend. Right? And that would give me this guy right here. That'll give me the flip that I would like. That. So it's not going to look perfect. It's not going to look pretty. It's going to cut through some candles. But it gives you the overall idea. And I wouldn't necessarily trade off of it. But I would certainly look at it to front run certain trades in a way that maybe I wouldn't have without any horizontal support resistance conflicts. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, yeah, that's right. Back to the fibs. So, just go to, here's your fib right here. Bang, 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 bang. So, make it look a little easier to look at. Right. And then right click it, double click it, whatever you want to do. Go to style and click on this button right here. Where is it? Apply defaults. Okay. So, once you apply the defaults, you'll get the ones above 1. You'll get a 1-6-1-8. You get a 2-6-1-8. You get a 3-6-1-8. And you get a 4-2-3 all by default. So let's take a look at that. And it'll look like this. Okay. And now you want the negatives. So you just type them in. You're going to have like a 1-6-1-8. So go to any one of these that you're not using. If there's no check, then you're not using it. And do negative 1.1618. Tick the little box to activate it and hit OK. There you go. Negative 1.618. All right. Now, the thing about that is that you should know that the measurements from a 1 to a 1.618 should be proper. The measurements from a 0 to a 1.618 are going to be a little bit different, right? So if you measured this right here and you came in and you said, I want to measure my 1 and go down to the 1.618. Oh, we can't do it. Forget it. That's far too much math. Because I'm just on like an arbitrary scale here. But yeah, that's how you do it. It's very, very simple. A lot of people do use them. I use them not all the time, but I do use them. I do like putting a -1 on there. That's usually pretty good. So then you can see where the 1 lands, which is nice. So you get the full 1 from the 1. So when you're making a trade in whatever direction, you know, you always have your 0 to 1 marker, but it reverses, it goes the wrong way, right? You have your 1 to 1, which is nice. So a nice 1 to 1. Cool? Cool. All right. That will wrap it up for tonight, or at least for now. Let's see. Fib, you want negative for a positive, right? 1.414, yep, 2.618. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, cool. Gotcha. Saying you're welcome. Okay, all right. It looks like everybody is on the right page. That's what I'm talking about. Very good. Little community of people helping a community of people. Right? That's fantastic. All right. Anyway, that'll wrap it up for tonight. I'm not sure I'll be back on later tonight. We'll have to wait and see. We didn't even get a chance to look at the scanner, but you guys should know how to use it by now. We're on the weekly candle close, so check the D7 and check the 1 for sure on top of anything else that you normally check. We are, what are we at, the 10th? So you probably check the 15th, you know, towards the end of the week. Scope the 15. You can always scope it whenever you want, but that would be like an ideal time to scope the 15. Like I said, Sunday. So yeah, scope the 1, scope the 7, and probably the 3, and just see what's shaking, what's moving, who's in a good, you know, pullback, hit buy, trends looking pretty good. HC, that's a chart I'll have to pull up a little bit later, see what's going on. But until then, I want to see you on the exchanges. And happy trading, everybody.